Thanks very much, Chair and witnesses. They're very welcome. When I leave this meeting tonight, I'm heading out the M4, heading for Longford, pay my €3 toll, which is probably one of the more expensive of the tolls, but I don't think I'm getting value for money, and particularly because I'm going to Longford, and anyone that's travelling to the entire northwest, Mayo, North Roscommon, Sligo, Leitrim, Longford, Westmeath, South Donegal, because we don't have dual carriageway or full motorway access the whole way west. Yet you do anywhere else, you leave from Dublin when you're heading out of the city. And you spoke about, in particular, down in Sligo, Collooney, Castle Baldwin, and the significant number of fatalities that was on that, and why that road was funded. Just on the N4 section, that's not, which is basically Mullingar to Roosky, you've had 20 fatalities, 34 serious injuries, and another 218 accidents on that since 2008. And we had one actually this morning, delayed me coming in. And we as a government have prioritised balanced regional development as core to the economics of this country, and that every region has that opportunity of benefiting from that. But the entire northwest and from Mullingar onward is not benefiting from that, because it is the one missing piece in the jigsaw of the whole network across the country with regard to accessibility to our capital. And significant funding has been spent west of actually Longford on the N5 and the N4, and I've mentioned that. Yet we have a section in the middle of 50 kilometres, not completed, was taken off the National Development Plan back in 2008, is back on it with a lot of pressure. Funding was being withdrawn for this year to stop the process as it was. Funding was found, and we are in a situation where by, I think, Q1, we'll have the preferred route option, and then Q2, that we'll have the route option selection process finalised, and actually give a bit of clarity to hundreds of farmers and landowners and householders that have been locked since 2008 with regard not being able to know what to do with their property or land, etc. But I understand from comments maybe that yourself, Mr. Walsh, made recently that the level of funding available is limited until 2026. What I want to know is the funding going to be in place in 2023 for the National Roads Office to progress that project to Phase 3, environmental impact assessment and preliminary design, and ultimately planning permission? Because we don't want a situation which happened previously where it was left idle for a number of years, came back on the project 2040, and we had to go back to the very start again because of the intervening time number of years and all the environmental inspections, and re-spend millions of euro. So that's what I'm asking. Is that funding going to be there for that project to continue in 2023? Because if we are going to live up to the commitment that the government has given, balanced regional development, that project needs to continue, to bring it to planning permission stage and lock the planning permission. And if there is a delay with regard to funding, and I totally accept that there's a lot of projects on the capital plan, at least then when it comes that it's turned, that we won't have to start the process all over again and waste another number of years. And in the intervening time, some landowners might have made this, there might be changes made. So that's really my main core of my question. As I say, I don't think we're getting value in the entire Midlands and Northwest because of that. And I think we're entitled to it. And the business people and those living there are entitled to the same access and the same opportunities for investment into the region, which we feel we're not getting because of that lack of access. So I just maybe ask you to make a comment on that. And just to finish up, another comment, I do think the proposal from Senator Harkin, and the Chair has mentioned it with regard to the M50, I think is a very credible proposal that I think should be looked at and needs to be looked at. And I think, because I think it'll make a massive difference to the early morning and late evening gridlock that's on the M50. And I think I would like to see that that would be taken on board and progressed, and whatever bylaws or whatever need to be changed needs to be done. And just to finish off,
Mullingar to Longford and Roosky, we're very conscious of the fact that the high level of head-on collisions in particular was something that has highlighted that section of road as one that warrants intervention. We've been keen to progress that project as funds will allow, and we'll continue that. I'm afraid I can't give you any definitive word today because we still don't have our money for 2023 confirmed by the department. And whereas we've brought forward a draft plan and budget to our board last month, we will have to bring another one back in December that reflects the confirmed figures, provided we get the confirmed figures. But as of today, we don't have the confirmed figures, so I can't definitively say whether that project will be, or what level of funding it will get.
you say draft, then can I ask the question, is it on the draft going forward? And
It was on our draft, yes. But we've been asked for several scenarios, and we've provided them for what can be achieved with different funding levels. But what funding level we'll receive will be a matter for the department and the minister. So.
Should there be sufficient money provided, that project will continue? Is that what you would say to me?
That project is well worth progressing. If there's sufficient money, it warrants progression. In our opinion, it's a section of the network that has a less than ideal level of performance. We have a lot of accidents on it.
Commencement matter, Senator Carrigan.
You know, I've already had one, and I just didn't get a comprehensive reply.
I think you've got further ammunition here today, I have no doubt.
Yeah, no, as I say, I think, and I know I'm re-emphasising the point that I made, it's the missing jigsaw in the whole network across the country, and it doesn't. If you look at your map, and we have 500 million, I think we're spending to the west of both the N4 and the N5, and in between we have that section. So I'd urge, whatever it takes, that needs to continue to plan and permission stage. And the funding, and it's not significant funding to get it to that point. The major significant funding is naturally enough at construction and that, but to get it to a plan and permission stage. So I can't overemphasise that needs to happen for the entire Northwest, and for us to live up to the commitment of government, which is balanced regional development. We're entitled to that access. So.